Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to We the People Talk, where we love to talk about everything you're just thinking about. How about that? Let me take this moment right now to tell you, if you are just joining us, please take this opportunity to like, share, comment, subscribe. Please comment, because yes, we do read them. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, comments that you want to send to any of the co-hosts, make sure that you email us at wethepeopletalk6@gmail.com. Hello to my co-hosts, all of you. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hello.
Everybody. Y'all know we like to switch it up a little bit around here. So if you see some new faces, you may have seen them once or twice on another show, a previous show, a co-host of another show, but we are here on this show to talk about everything that's going on. Listen, people, I want there was a meme that there was a meme with a guy, I can't think of his name. I mean, he became a meme instantly. He had a scarf around his head, poofy hair, and he said, God, hide somebody, hide you this, hide you that, hide your wife, hide your girlfriend, hide your kids. Hide your kids, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know? Do you know that there was a woman in the state of Texas? We just gonna go right up into this show. Right here.
We popping right in.
Listen, this woman in Texas, I can't tell you what the name of the city she was in, but she was in the state of Texas, and she walked up to a woman in the grocery store, and she said that she wanted her child. Who said that?
Wait, she wanted her child?
She walked up to the woman and her child and said, I want your kid. How much can I pay you for your child?
This is not Color Purple.
I want you to know. This really happened. And then she said, I'll pay you $250,000 for your kid.
What kind of shit is that?
Baby, I'd
A
have
little
took
bit more at least. You need to offer me a little bit more at least.
Wait. So then, when the woman said no, because at first, of course, the woman thought she was joking, right? She's like, no, this can't be serious. You cannot be real. And so when the woman's like, oh no, I think she's joking. When she said, well, no, if you can't take $250,000, how about I give you $500,000?
I can't.
You missed the big question. Why did she want the kid?
What
Do you want to know why?
What these people look like?
Do you want to know why she wanted her kid? Because the kid was blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Okay, so what color was the purchaser?
Well, now Leanne.
Oh. Now you wait a minute.
See, we come with the stuff on this evening. We didn't come to play with y'all. We
So
come
it was a Get Out situation, but the prequel.
I can't.
The prequel.
I just can't.
Prequel.
What do you do? What do you do if you were one of the parents walking around do the grocery store? First of all, if you're a black parent and you got a kid with you, you already not even paying too much attention to what's going on because that kid got you wrapped around everything.
Right.
Mama, can I have this? Can I have that? I want some candy. I want some of that.
Oh, where we finna go? Can I have this? We just got it off the conveyor belt. Can we get it on?
Sit down.
Stop hanging on this card. No. You know you accidentally push the card on your parents' heels.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Slap your neighbor and say stretch.
Listen, y'all, that was my grandmama. I swear to God. Baby, listen, that was my granny to the T. She be like, oh, get the best. Pop.
Baby.
Quick with it, okay?
Wait.
Water the Baskerville and play.
I'm sick of it.
Wow.
Oh,
Johnny, I'm not gonna do this today.
Oh my God. Right, don't look at nothing, don't touch nothing, don't
touch nothing.
Don't touch nothing.
And I mean nothing. Don't you do it. And so if you were a black parent, what would you have done in that instance? If somebody just walked up to you out of the clear blue and said, how much for your child? Like they were
to the nah, to the nah.
Exactly. That part.
Baby.
That part.
Wow.
Gia, what's our new song? Trifling. Come on.
I am tickled.
You're not going to take me to church on trifling.
You know what?
I refuse.
You said I gotta get it. Somebody else.
Trifling.
I'm tickled.
Come on, bass.
Did I give you a good old Barrett deep register every now and then? You know,
OMG.
We got SATB in the house. Come on, SATB.
Listen, so Brittany, you're absolutely right. It does sound like human trafficking. Like, why would you come up to somebody else's kid and even offer that? It's one thing to walk up to somebody's kid, you know, oh, they're so precious, and oh, they're so cute. Or I'm like, really? What? Roy, yes, folks is buying kids.
They buying kids. And it's people out here trying to get rid of their kids, and you trying to buy somebody.
Maybe they got all the kids.
Find the right one.
To the foster agency. The foster agency got all them children that need to be.
Pick a state.
She said it was too much red tape.
One.
It was too much red tape. She wanted a kid on demand.
On
demand. Prime delivery.
Get somebody for $250,000 for their child.
I'm tickled.
Listen.
I cannot.
This man said, "Let me get my shit. Let me get my."
Roy, you gonna offer him up?
Baby.
Give him up.
Roy said, I got a couple of them that you can have.
Baby, the teachers in the comments acting up. They acting up tonight.
Right.
They love their children. They love their students. I know they do.
Oh, Jesus.
But that was one thing that happened in the news. Another thing that happened in the news. There was one of the really famous singers of our day. Um, she became a phenomenon. I think she was. I don't know where she's from. I know it has to be from the
Australia.
UK. Australia. Thank you.
Yes.
So
I don't know. I can't. No, that's the wrong one. She ain't came from here though.
See, that means you gotta let me finish. Thank you very much, sir.
Because I was reading Australia, but it wasn't for her.
No, it wasn't for her. Listen. So from the UK, the artist we know as Adele. So Adele, everybody knows her, everybody loves her. She's gotten top charting hits. You know, she has all of these things going on, and to her credit. So of course, people when she has a concert, people want to go see her. People want to pay tickets, and they did. She had the Las Vegas residencies. Like, oh, we can go to Vegas. People that live in Vegas, it's like, yes, let's go see Adele. So I'm sure she's going to put on a great concert. They buy the tickets day of the concert. They get there. The tickets were steeply priced, but they bought them anyway. And they got into that auditorium, that venue. They sat down in their seats an hour before the showtime started. An hour before the showtime started.
It wasn't an hour. It was 24 hours.
24 hours. Either way. So she said, I ain't coming.
You have an extension or a Tylenol?
Adele just straight cancels.
Baby.
Try.
Mess. It's a hot mess. And she knows it, though.
Trifling.
Like, what do you do as a person? Like, okay. So we, as you can see, all of us here on this panel can sing, right? We're all singers. We're all artists in our own right.
I'm not a singer.
What? Yes, he is. Stop laughing.
Okay, girl, bye.
Right. That part. Right. Nah.
I don't sing.
Yeah. Okay.
Johnny, don't do it.
Come on,
We'll pull the tape.
Thank you.
Right. We'll pull the tape.
We will
I
pull
know
the
strong
tape.
tennis.
Please pull the tape.
I thought we was all together, right?
Right.
Right.
That part.
Circa 20 years ago.
What do we do as artists? How do we feel as artists for something like that to have without a real clear-cut explanation as to what happened?
Well,
Not as an audience member. Not as an audience member. As an artist.
Well, artist,
how do you feel about it?
I heard her choir rehearsal wasn't right.
Now listen, if their rehearsal ain't right, I'm not getting on that stage either, and I'm not letting my singers get on that stage either. I don't care who paid for what. If it ain't right, it ain't right. We'll postpone. But I will not stand in front of anybody's singers and they are unprepared. But if I'm standing in front of you, you better know. You better know they're gonna be prepared.
Do better, because guess what? They'll sound like this.
A change.
I mean, one word. One word.
I'm tickled.
Well,
see, I heard it was canceled because of COVID.
It was canceled because of the COVID?
I heard it was canceled because of COVID. Now, I don't know how true that is, but there was a lot of things.
Your mask.
Why they let them people get up in there and then decide to cancel it? Adele, calling Adele to the carpet.
But no,
that's why that's the same valid.
He said it's 24 hours, so she wasn't.
It was 24 hours before.
Yeah.
So, but if it's a residency, she has to be staying in the hotel.
Right. Well, they got Keith Urban now, and they said Adele ain't coming back for summertime. So,
Adele said she
what
don't
about
want
all those
Mario.
people that?
What do you
got
like,
Keith?
As an artist, I mean, yes, everybody, everything is kind of blamed on COVID now. If you don't get your packages on time, they blame it on COVID.
Right.
If you can't get your kids in school, you blame it on COVID. If
you can't buy a kid, you blame it on COVID.
You blame it on the Rona.
I could die.
So that we're blaming all of this stuff on COVID-19. Some stuff ain't really because of the Rona now.
Right.
Yeah.
Some stuff ain't because of Rona.
It's just a good excuse.
Just a good excuse.
I feel like they should be doing the residencies right now anyway. I mean, it's too many people in one spot, and we see the numbers, how much they're growing. I just don't think it's smart to do anything like that. Just like the Super Bowl just made an announcement, and it's out there in LA, and they talk about they gonna give everybody an N95 mask, so they gotta wear the mask they giving out when you get there. There's still too many people in the stadium.
But I don't want somebody else's. I hope it's packaged.
Yeah, they're gonna be packaged. Yeah, packaged N95 masks, but still, there's too many people in these stadiums. They pack it out these stadiums left and right. It's gonna be an outbreak. Watch.
Well, so what's the difference between them actually providing you with a mask and making sure that you're wearing your mask while you're in the stadium and you being on an airplane for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, flying across the country?
Packed like this.
Right. What's the difference?
Yeah. True. But guess who ain't been on no plane, and guess who don't plan on getting on no plane no time soon?
No,
virtual everything.
You don't. Don't you get on one, because you be subject to catch the Rona and you be so mad at it. Don't you go.
I ain't going nowhere. Everything gonna be virtual for me.
Give me your boarding pass.
It's a virtual for you.
Give it right here.
It's a virtual for
you ain't going.
I'm just trying to see what kind of an emergency causes you to cancel 24 hours before.
Now, there was a show. There was a show I was supposed to go to, and it was not as huge as that. It was a little opera thing, but they canceled it because of
COVID. Hang on, you said it was
that was the reason that they said they canceled it.
Wait, well, they did that last year. They did that last year here. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
There was a little small opera that I was supposed to go to here that got canceled, and they said the reason they canceled it was because of the cases was just going up too high, and they didn't want to risk it.
Well, they canceled some stuff here at the Fox last year because some of the actors had caught COVID. So I mean, I don't know. I mean,
it may be partially valid. I guess
it could be. I don't know. I'm gonna be like Lily and Lord. Y'all ain't gonna, because of COVID, need a death this year. Just say you couldn't afford to pay.
That's right. That's what she said, and
That's
she was right.
Didn't she say it?
Did she say it? She said it.
Well, and the other thing is Adele, Keith Urban.
Like,
okay, girl, bye. Well, we know,
and I love Keith Urban. I love Keith Urban, but Adele.
What does he sing?
Oh, I don't know no songs, baby.
Okay, girl, bye. Non-vaccinated stuff. Unvaccinated stuff.
Now the songs can't be vaccinated.
You haven't exaggerated on
time long. Now stop it. Now y'all doing too much. The songs ain't got nothing
vaccinated.
Ain't got nothing to do with being vaccinated. Now, if Anita come back and does the residency in Las Vegas, and I can afford to go, I'm letting you know right now. I'm gonna put on 3 masks, a hat, scarf, and coat,
and I'm going.
I'm gonna be there.
And I might have to choke out the first class ticket so I can be able to have a little more distance. Cause I'm gonna go to that. A
little more distance really will work for you.
You
right?
know, a little more. I might need a little more distance, but I got to be there. For that.
Wesley says apparently a lot of things she needed to produce her show didn't make it in time.
I can believe that.
But
them barges, everything sitting out on them barges.
Yeah.
Everything.
That could be. But you know what? But no, because
24 hours.
But wait, you have some artists that can pull off a piano and a mic. Some artists that can do that you don't need to, even though I paid to come see you, the flashing lights and all that good stuff, that's good. But if Anita didn't even have all of that, if Adele didn't even have all of that, they got the pipes.
They got the pipes.
Give me a worthwhile experience that I paid for. Am I right? Am I the only one?
Adele got the vocals to do it.
You're not buying
piano.
Yeah.
Me trying to add up Adele for Keith Urban for Adele. I'm trying to add it up. Yeah, no.
Now I'm gonna tell you what would have really made me mad is if I would have bought a plane ticket to go to see Adele. I paid $6,000, and she's not performing. I would have been highly upset.
And what if you and think about the people that know like their significant other or somebody they're in a relationship with, or even just trying to date, know that they love this artist, know that they love Adele. What about those people that now they have to cancel?
And then it's Keith Urban.
Right. And so Rashawn, what did Rashawn
say? This unvaccinated song.
Vaccinated. They're just I'm sorry, I stand by it.
And what did the last comment say? Put the
The last comment said, Adele can sing though. She don't need all that production. Just stand up and sing, girl. Sing.
Exactly. That part. Just sing. We'll be okay with that.
A lot of artists actually started doing the piano tours, and I actually preferred those over the band experience. It's more intimate.
Yeah.
It's a great example.
I like an intimate concert now.
Who was it?
I like an intimate concert.
Prince did one before he passed away. PJ Morton has done.
He was on the hologram.
That's what I said. PJ Morton.
He's on the hologram.
Wes says, but Adele did mention that half her team was down with COVID. Yeah, you not having a team. That putting on a show is more than a notion. So I want people to understand that too. That just because you're going to see an artist, if they're worth their weight in gold, they have a fantastic team that we don't ever see. That's working behind the scenes to make sure that we get the experience that we're paying for. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah. Everybody caught COVID on her team. Everybody caught COVID.
Probably not everybody.
24 hours before.
Not they probably
they may have started showing symptoms.
Exactly. It can happen that quick.
The Omarion is much quicker than before. The incubation period is like.
So they said, well, everybody got COVID.
I asked somebody that
I'm still on that.
I asked one of the choir members.
Oh,
I know one of the people that's supposed to sing in the choir.
And
he said the H if I know. I said, why was it canceled? He said the H if I know. He said she claims it wasn't ready, but I believe otherwise.
I told y'all.
Try.
So it wasn't ready. How y'all say? Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Listen,
I can't.
We all can. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for doing so. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment, because yes, we do read them. We love the interactions that go on between all of our audiences. So there was also something that came across the desk.
Oh Lord.
We know, like I said, people.
Uh-oh.
Give him strength. Give him strength.
Help him.
What happened?
We want to say
strength.
Congratulations to Cardi B, the artist.
What'd she do?
Won her defamation verdict against a malicious YouTuber who was maliciously just would not stop. She just would not stop. And so what we do here on We the People Talk, yes, we entertain and we educate, but I don't believe we've ever been malicious. And I don't think anybody on this panel would sign up for any one of us to be that to anybody else, especially people that we've either never met, never will meet, or don't know.
Right.
So when you have an instance like that where you have someone who, and I think people really got confused. I know I would have been if at first if I only knew of the artist, but what was on trial, I believe, was Cardi B the person, not the artist. Right. Cardi B the person kept saying, it was challenging for her mentally, where she kept hearing these stuff and it just kept coming and coming, and the YouTube blogger just kept going and going and going. And it's like, listen, if you would just stop, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. We don't even have to go through all this. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you. And the blogger just kept going and going and going. And
it was lies.
And it was lies. It wasn't.
And she admitted. She admitted that they were that she was lying. She admitted, the YouTuber admitted that she was lying. It's one thing to pull a Wendy Williams or something. You out here talking. You're talking about stuff that we actually can see and that we know is true, actual. Yes. But it's another thing to, in this case,
knowingly
lie. You knowingly lied. Yeah, you pay that girl. Run her money.
How you doing? Speaking of Wendy Williams, I hope we gonna solicit the prayer warriors for her, because ain't nobody seen her, friends. Okay.
Nope.
Not me.
Not me. She ain't even cute to be acting that way, huh?
Not me. And I tell the people,
I'm about to go.
Don't ask me to pray for y'all. Don't ask me to pray for don't ask me, because I'm not wasting no prayers. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing it. I already told y'all. Do not ask me to pray for you, because if I had to waste my time to go to God and you on some bull, me and God got a whole nother kind of relationship. I ain't doing that with you.
I cannot.
The thing is, what is the precedent that this is going to set now? Like, is this really? Here's the thing. This is the thing that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that YouTube is not going to do anything necessarily about it on their end. I don't know if they're going to necessarily take her channel, because her channel makes money for them, for Google. And so I don't even know if that type of punishment, which, is that type of punishment necessary? I don't know. I'm not one to answer that. But as far as if YouTube's going to take the channel, I don't doubt it. I doubt it, because it makes the money. It makes them thousands of dollars. This person has a million followers.
Nope, but it's not about the YouTube. It's not about the channel. It's about her talking. So even if she got on another platform, she can't say nothing on nobody's platform.
I understand
about
that,
her.
but I understand that. I'm not talking about her. I'm just talking about her channel in general. YouTube probably will not take her channel, and she'll probably get back on YouTube like she been doing. She may not talk about her.
Right.
But I don't think she learned a lesson just based off of her actions from what we've seen from this.
Yeah.
So she'll get on here and she'll do the same thing to the next person.
And
because that's the type of attitude that she gives off.
We do have those figures as well. Do we have those figures, Johnny?
No, not readily. It was almost about 4 million.
Yeah.
All because you won't shut up.
And she ain't learned the lesson. Baby, she
learned. That's what I'm saying.
She still ain't learned on this.
And
you lying. You lying. It's one thing from being you lying.
$4 million and you still ain't shut up. I'm interested to see what the next installment of her show was going to be like after she got to pay that man. Because it's different.
And from a legal aspect,
it hit different when that money come up out that account.
and from a legal aspect, if you were to file bankruptcy, you wouldn't be able to file a Chapter 7. You would have to file an 11 and make payments off of that, because it's a legal situation that has happened. So you can't file that type of claim and get it totally erased or even brought down. No. You're going to still end up paying whatever it is. They just break it up in payments if you try to pull it in.
Payments.
Right. Can you put Brittany's comment back up? Brittany said it's also not about the money either. I just love this story because Cardi got up and defended her character right away. And that to me meant more than anything. Yeah. Because it's one thing for you to say stuff about me that I didn't want people to know that was true. That's a whole completely separate issue. But you getting up and telling people things about me that you've never seen me, you've never met me, you don't know who I am as a person. You can judge what I say in my work life. If I'm an artist, yeah, go ahead and judge my lyrics that I write. Go ahead and judge my dance moves that I do. Go ahead and judge all of that. But at the end of the day, my kids look up to a real person, not that artist.
And to that point, I think a lot of people miss the fact that she is a real person. So people are looking at it like as the artist. Well, she rap about this and she did this and she did this and just all this, that, and the third. Yeah, Cardi said some egregious stuff before. We all know it. However, it still doesn't negate from the fact that you can be a victim and a victimizer at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And in this particular case, Cardi is the victim. And has she been a victimizer before? Yeah. But in this particular case, she's a victim. She was violated by lies, blatant lies that the person admitted to, and it is what it is. You know, this is the consequences that you got to deal with.
And I want to say, what as a mental health therapist, Leander, who's worked with people who may have, come to you for advice or come to you saying, I'm basically, if in an adult version of being bullied on the playground, what advice would you give to somebody who's an adult who's supposed to be expected to handle things in a different manner than just pushing somebody because they pushed you?
Now, I let folks heart talk.
Yes, that's why I asked.
So yeah. So I would definitely be, because we think because we're grown, it don't hurt. Right. Or you just push it to the side, but it don't, man. We push that stuff down. So as a mental health professional, it would be one of the things of really letting that person's heart speak and letting it talk and letting it be what it is. Now I couldn't advise legally on what to do, but just in terms of the soul getting its relief or to the best of what it can be, that's really all you can do is give that person space to really truly express what they're feeling, how they're feeling, and what's really going on, and then maybe giving wisdom based on that, what they say after that. But man, that's
Gotcha. And mental health, I think now has a new, I don't want to say audience, but a new way of thinking. Like it's revamped. It's been revised now for the times that we live in. So it's no longer finally, right? Because when you have people, and our thoughts and condolences and prayers go out to Regina King, who lost her son when he committed suicide. Like, mental health is, we've been talking about it, but not a lot of people have been doing the work. And when I say not a lot of people have been doing the work, I'm not talking about the therapists, because you all have got licensed and credentials.
Please go there.
Yes, I'm not talking about you all. I believe you all have done the work to be able to diagnose, to be able to treat, to be able to listen, to be able to advise, to be able to counsel. I get that. But it's we on this side who are actually having the issues. We have seen mental health therapists. We've been counseled, advised. We've been all of that. We just don't want to do the work.
And here's a piece of the extra piece of the work that I've been highlighting. What we also won't do, because that Regina King son thing, that hit me hard, right?
Yeah.
Because what we'll say is that he had mental health issues or something of the liking, right?
Yeah.
But what we won't do as a community is understand our role and why this person had to feel the way they felt anyway.
Right. That's right there. Yes.
Yes.
So we'll say it was them, but we won't look at our systems and how we structure things and how we choose to do our society, how much pressure that puts on another individual. Instead of actually being a community effort of saying it's our duty to make sure we're all well. So I live the way I live so that we're all well to the best of what I can contribute. That part, we don't ever want to talk about that part. What is your role in the fact that everybody's depressed right now? Everybody's anxiety is to the 9s, to the 10s. It's just on super low. We won't take responsibility for each other because we're busy putting responsibility on one individual. And no one individual grows or exists or makes it in life on their own. So it's like we've lost something in that. And that's less talked about, because again, everybody's ultimately responsible for themselves. But the truth is, we're all responsible for each other. I live in the way that's loving, not just because it's gonna benefit me, but because I know that this is how humans were designed to function. So I want to contribute what I need to contribute so that our mental health space, or that our soul is clear as I can participate in. That part won't be talked about. It's all him. Oh, he must have been sad. Well, why was he sad?
Right.
What was going on that was sad? What pressure was he feeling that we may have had the ability to relieve that we didn't?
Right. But so what do you say to that people? So what do you say to the people that say, well, if they were sad, and they had outside influences, let's say it was family life or family unspoken or unhealed family trauma, or if it was social media, or so what do you say to those people that say, well, why couldn't they just move? Why couldn't he just turn off social media? Why couldn't, like, even in Cardi B's case, why does she have to keep listening to the blocker? Why does she keep having to read in the comments? What do you say to that?
So all of us should just pack up and leave Earth.
Because it's happening all around us, right?
It's all around. I mean, and again, we're saying to them, why shouldn't they change how they act? And they're not even necessarily doing anything wrong.
Right.
Nobody's saying to the people that's doing the stuff wrong and say, no, why shouldn't you stop?
Yes.
Or why shouldn't we stop people or speak up?
And why are people flocking to these people's pages and making comments and saying
that's what I'm
stuff
saying,
and reiterating stuff that these people have said that you don't even know is true or not? You're just going and flocking to page where they said you da 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 da. You're a keyboard warrior, like.
And come on, keyboard warrior. But another thing too with people is some people are just committed to the assignment of being negative too. And it really doesn't matter, what's going on. Like, well, I know people that are like, you follow them on social media and everything is just doom and gloom. It's the end of the times. The earth is going to end tomorrow. And I mean, it's like, I can only take so much of that in. I can't do you. But another thing that I saw about the Regina King story from someone else is you never know how COVID has people in dark places too. Some people have never had to encounter something like this. And there seems to be no end in sight. The media doesn't help. It's a lot of people are dying. And so, I mean, it's just a lot going on, but I just can't do the people like those people that the earth is going to end tomorrow people. I can't do them. Like, you got your own. I'm serious. And some people are like that. Everything about you is negative. Like, you make it your prescription to turn on the news and just run down everything that's wrong. I can't do you. Get away from me. Like, I can't do that.
But what I'm interested to know also from you, Mo, being that you are in front of young adults quite often, how are they coping? What are they saying to you? Whether it be the people, in either arena of your life, I'll put it that way.
Right, on both sides.
Yeah, right.
On both sides. It's quite interesting. I think these young people are very strong. They really are. I have seen them overcome and still find ways to participate effectively, not just in the home, but in the community around them. Yeah. And I think that's what keeps them going. It wasn't so much that, the earth, but the world stopped, but it was how can we use the knowledge and resources we have to still create great moments. You can't have an in-person prom, but what can we do? And so them being able to be innovative and creative and kind of do things a little bit differently than what we had has caused them, I think, to kind of step up the plate a little bit. Because even if I just talk about my kids from church, we went from 30, 40 people to 4. And so that causes you to have to grow up a little bit because you can't be dependent upon those other 26 who used to be there around you. Yeah. And so I think for me, what I've seen is them be resilient. And then there are some that have struggled to say, I need to take a break because I really am struggling with, A, B, or C. And so just trying to encourage them, I feel like my job is necessarily not to help them to sing, but to create an atmosphere where they're comfortable to express who they are through music.
Yes.
Love See what I'm saying?
Love
and so creating that atmosphere has kind of given them the license, which is why I'm not always liked, because I kind of let them, whatever you want to do, as long as, you're not twerking on stage, I don't really care. Yeah. And depending upon the twerk, it might work. Right. And so, being a facilitator of that atmosphere is what's important. So creating a place of love, creating a place of peace and understanding, and so they have just grown from this experience. Now, I know some of them are struggling, but I think being able to come every week, even with the mask on or 2 and being scared, still gives them the push that they need. They were strength for me. When I was like, okay, do I really want to go to church? Do I really want to? I don't know. We all suffered together, figured it out together. Yeah, we all figured it out together. So I'm just really grateful to see them flourish. Because and then of course the age differences, because some of my kids are as young as 13, some as old as 27, 28. So to see them kind of navigate and help each other, we've just become closer. Now it's not perfect. Please understand. We're not perfect. We still got some problems and kinks and still got to go off on folks and still get them together. But I've seen them I don't think that we've given our young people enough credit. Yeah. That's where I stand with it. We just feel like, oh, woe is me. They're not going to do anything. And they've created these different avenues to help them to cope. It's just unfortunate that not everyone is able to get to that place. But hopefully my prayer is always to continue to strive to get them there.
I think some parents hinder them, and some, supervisors or et cetera, whatever you want to call it, some people are hindering them from being able to be expressive and to do that. You have some that are probably wanting to be innovative and do different things, and they get shut down. How do you handle that when they're getting shut down every 2 seconds about something that that they're wanting to do, especially right now dealing with the pandemic, and you pretty much can't go nowhere and do nothing,
All they had, some of them, all they had was church.
Right.
And so the reality is, I think this brought everybody, especially in church, all the dressing up that we used to do and dress to the nines. And then you realize, hold on, it's only 10 people in service. Yeah. So do I really have to dress up? Yeah, like you really begin to weigh what's important.
Yes.
What really matters? Because you only got 30 seconds to get their attention on the screen anyway. So what really matters?
Yeah.
So
what really matters? What really matters, Mr. Samuels? What really matters, Mr. Samuels? What really matters? Is it Ken or Keith Samuels? Which one?
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels, who this week made it again an appearance on Across the We the People Talk desk and made a comment that said, do we have his comment?
And understand, when I mean dates, I mean nighttime dates. Ladies, if you don't want sex to be on the table, then don't go out after dark. If you go out after 5 p.m. with a man, sex should be on the menu. If you want to keep it strictly platonic, date between the hours of 12 and 3.
What does he say to the men? It's always funny that this male, this heterosexual male, always has these things that he wants to say to women. I mean, he's just a woman expert. He ain't been a damn woman in his life. I don't think he has. But he has so much to say to women and what we should do and all this, that, and the third. It's so sexist. But it's like, but what you saying to your fellow counterparts?
No, I will
these
say,
horse men out here that have these thought processes and that do certain things. We the people want to know, because I'm getting kind of sick of it.
Well, I would say not on this particular topic. Now, I have heard him go in on men too, because he went on this guy about him being fat and broke and why he can't get a woman. I mean, like, I think he does everything for shock factor, but I'm just saying he does it. Anybody is an equal opportunity from what I've seen, but he does do a lot more giving advice to women.
So we have talked about this in the group, and I did say to you all, like, because I knew this topic was going to come up. And yes, Angel Simmons, whoa, I do agree with you. Hey, Ma, she said it's foolishness. But from the men's mentality, I understand what he's saying. Hold on, let me finish. What he's saying is what he should have said. I'll put it that way. It probably would have been understood a little bit better because what he said was, if a woman goes out with a man after dark, after 5 p.m., then sex should be on the menu. That's what he said. What he probably should have said is, if a man goes out with a woman after 5, he's going to assume that it's okay because you're setting an atmosphere where sex will easily be on the menu.
Because of a time?
David,
because of the time?
Because of David. Hold on. I didn't say I agreed with him. I'm just saying what he said. He did.
So here's what so Dave, you're saying what he should have said, but he didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
And even that's trash.
Now I agree with you.
Exactly. Come on now.
I do agree with you. But think about it this way. Because like Jill said, what are you saying? Because it's also a two-sided coin, if you will. Because if women go out with men, if the woman asks a man on a date, because women ask men on dates all the time.
Mhm.
Whether
Yes,
these
they
women
do.
that we know do it, may not do it, but women do ask men out on dates all the time.
Yes,
And
they
does the
do.
same assumption and the expectation apply when she asks him? Is the question.
Yes, she does. No, I'm just,
Come on here.
Well,
Why she don't when she
why
do?
can't it be we're just going out to get to know? I'm going out to
That-
get to know you, and then if
I'm-
it just so happens to lead to that because they're two consenting adults, then it is what it is. Why does it have to be that? It said expectation at the end of the night. I don't need you to pay for my meal.
Right, because
So if you're saying that because
You said-
you're taking me out and paying for me to go get something to eat.
No, it wasn't about him paying. He ain't said nothing
So
about
what-
who paid.
But what?
He didn't
but-
say anything
but
about
what-
who paid.
So where does the expectation come from?
The expectation comes from if I were thinking as he thought, the expectation comes in that if you are going out with anybody, let's put it this way: if you, whomever you are, whatever your gender is, watching this, if you are going out with another person that you're interested in after 5 p.m., know that it's going to get later and later and later. It's going to get later if you go out earlier too, but if you start at when it's already late, 5, 6 o'clock at night, and you going later and later and later, you can't think that the person that you're going out with is not going to reasonably assume that sex may be an option. It's not to say
You're not
that
going home. You don't
have
come to my house. You ain't going to my house.
Who said you have to go to your house? They ain't said where you
you ain't got to go to his house or nowhere else.
Right, at 5 o'clock. How long is this day?
What?
I mean, what? I mean,
and if you go to brunch or breakfast, the same expectation because of the mentality that some of these men have is still going to be on the table. So they can go to breakfast to the Cracker Barrel at 7 a.m. and some of these Negroes are still going to have that. Waffle House, IHOP, wherever.
But I'm just so confused. 5 o'clock is not that late.
It's not, but he's
And
saying
what
if you go after 5.
Maybe we need to determine what an average date time is. Because I'm just trying to think through my thinkathalisis, as you would say. It can't last that long.
First of all, ain't nobody going on a date starting at 5 o'clock, okay? Because
Right.
we're all working professionals on this here panel, and all of us are married for the most part.
After 5.
But that means
after 5.
We're not going to eat at 5 o'clock. We ain't going to eat till about 7, 8 o'clock because I got to come home and I got to decompress first, and then we can go and talk about going on a date. Even before marriage days. It was like, I'm at 5 o'clock. I'm just getting off work.
After 5. He didn't say at 5.
5:02. But I'm
7 o'clock.
I'm so
What you got, Mo?
He said after 5.
He said after 5. Go ahead, Mo.
At what point are we gonna stop letting these busted?
No,
come on, Mo. It's on the tip of
Insert Wesley. Okay?
Yes,
Whatever
come on,
expletive Wesley would give. Why are we even listening to, like, why is he not canceled? Like, he just comes up with stuff just to get us to talk about it. It makes me so sick because it is so patriarchal. Help me out, y'all.
That word. That word. We know that word.
It's so full of sexism. Okay,
that part.
It's so full of sexism, misogyny, and then we'll say if she does sleep with him, she's a hoe.
She's a hoe.
Right. But what does that make you?
You can't win with these people.
With these heroes.
You can't win.
You can't.
I can't be around that. No, because that thing will hijack you. I know what I'm talking about. You walk around here and all of a sudden you drop something and go, oh, shit.
and it's this dominance foolishness that there's like, you gotta do this. It's like, no.
But then you want an independent woman that can pay her own bills. Which one do you want?
Which one do you want?
But I'm so like I don't understand.
And a woman.
Wait. Go ahead,
No,
Joe.
I'm just trying to understand from the thing, like, you're saying if you're thinking, David, you're saying if you're thinking like him. So I'm trying to understand, what is he thinking? I was thinking he was saying that if he paid for something, that's why that would justify. I'm not saying that's right, but that would justify in his mind. So he's just saying out of the gate, If you say we go somewhere after 5 o'clock, you just check the whole box and say, and this is on the menu. Like
that's what it's
that's
saying.
what
That's
you're saying?
just what trash
But
men
just
say.
because it's on the menu doesn't mean it has. You got to order it.
And this is where I leave you.
And this is why I drove my own car on dates and etc. Even with my now husband, I drove my car. You ain't coming to my house and picking me up. I'm good. I don't know you like that.
Now, gee.
And that I did not. I didn't know you. Like, you're not gonna come to my house. I'm gonna drive myself there. I will meet you there.
You did. You did.
And
I was there. You did it.
You
You're not
did it, friend.
But you loved you some Tim, so don't try to say it straight like
and
that.
do
right
because you loved you some Tim.
I got my silicone out. And do.
She trying to act like she ain't like her. I ain't like the nigga, but I just went.
Right, exactly.
I like them, but you walk over to my house.
We the people was there and you was in love.
But can we admit though? Can we be honest and say it does not matter the time that some of these Negroes that you can go to breakfast, and the thought process that these men have is still going to be on the table regardless.
But you still haven't answered the question about what if women do it? What if women ask the men? Don't they expect the same thing?
They do.
I have my own agency, and if I decide if I want to do that, that is my choice.
That's not what I'm talking about. So you mean to tell me women calling these men at 11 p.m.
Oh, p.m.
talking about what you doing?
I'm hungry.
And if she do, what's the problem?
Exactly. No.
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
But let me say, the problem is the expectation. Now that's direct. It seemed like to me.
No,
what
it ain't.
you're saying is she called me at 11 o'clock saying come over. That sounds
I ain't say come over.
To me.
No, I didn't say come over.
Well, so what she called me?
Y'all know what y'all did.
They going to eat at 11.
Do? Nope. What do they do? Women call me at 11 p.m. to my what you doing? They don't never say nothing else. That's all they say.
I heard something.
No, WYD text. What you doing?
What you doing? Hello.
But Kevin Samuels was talking about an after 5 date. If a girl call and say what you doing, you already know what's up. If I go to dinner with you at 5:03, praise God, I'm not giving you that.
And we won another battle.
And if she does so choose to text him, what's the text that you said? What you say?
WYD.
Text at that at 11 o'clock, and they know what's up. That is my choice to do that as well.
And we've won another battle.
It should not be characterized as heuristic or anything like that because
heuristic.
It's heuristic.
Horrific.
You need to go in the bush and weep.
Right.
It's the JLBC remix.
Listen, if you are just joining us, we know that we are highly entertaining. But please like, share, subscribe, comment. We do read your comments. I don't know what to say. Because I still think that it sounds like a double standard to me.
It's not a double standard because we're not calling nobody at 11 p.m. to go on a date. We calling to get some. But Kevin said if you go on a date after 5, you should expect to have sex. That's a fool. And he knows it's a fool.
Leanne, what's that? What's that?
Who he calling looking like that?
What's that you?
I do have to agree. I mean, it is slightly different. If you say you expect that we're gonna have sex because it's an after 5 day, it is a little extra. So I do kind of agree with them when they say. And then if you call me at 11 and say what you doing, we kind of know what that means, like that, or what it can imply.
Like we kind of know. It's a cut, but
you up
there.
Well, see, somebody like me. See me. See with me, you got to be direct. With me, you got to be direct. You can't say what you're doing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm like Amelia Bedelia, right? So I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. You got to say what you doing. I want to smash. Then I'm like, then I know.
Jesus.
Cry for
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do this with y'all all night. Listen, as you can see, like I said, we're all singers, we're all artists. We love to sing, we love to educate you, and we love to entertain you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for We the People Talk. Thank you to all of my co-hosts, Mo, Jill, Lee, Johnny. I am David Lester-Massey, and we will see you right here next time on We the People Talk. Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. You know what?
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
We still live. We still live.
We are still.
Let's cut. And the next time that we sit down and do this,
We got to do this again?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.